Okay, students, welcome to 10.4. And here we're talking about function combinations. So these are operations of two or more functions. Good way to think about that is you are trying to make it on your own and you're having to have two incomes. You're working two jobs. So your two incomes are being combined together, and then you have money going out too. So you have three things going on at the same time, all related to the money in your bank. I think we can all relate to that. Now, I have placed on here your tasks. So we're calling this combining functions, and we have an advanced organizer and so forth. Let's click on this for a second and notice a few things. So what we're doing is we're continuing to work with functions, but we're doing more. We're combining them. We're doing a variety of operations. These are the things that we want to be able to point out. Basic operations, figuring out the domain, the composite. Now, a composite is like a function within a function. And evaluating composite functions. And then I know it sounds a little morbid, but we're decomposing functions, which really is just finding or looking at the function and trying to determine by inspection or by looking what the function inside the function is. So that is that is the gist of it. And of course, you have your readings and your assignment work and your discussion and completing the quiz. Try to do that assignment work. It is very important. That is it for the advanced organizer. I want to take a moment here and look at the assignment work. So you have these two readings and you have these problems. There's not a lot of problems here, so it's in your best interest to do those problems. If we were going to look at that first lesson, if we were going to take a moment and just sort of breeze through it, you'll notice that it's got kind of a funny way of loading on your computer. It does mine. And these are the general things we're trying to do. And so it begins with a little review. What is a polynomial function? You already know this information. And then I'm just sort of scrolling down here. Now what we're going to do is that was a good example about what's called a particle function, and throwing something up in the air. Now here we're adding and subtracting functions. So we're illustrating that. Here we're subtracting. So this means we're putting 3 in for f and then 3 in for g. We're going to figure out what it is for f and figure out what it is for g and then subtract them. Now that's if we were going to try to find the number, the value. And here's an example where you're finding the actual function. So you're taking f minus g, or f minus g. So you could plug in the numbers or you could find it algebraically. That is an important distinguishment to point out. Also, don't forget when you are doing a quotient of two functions, you have to be aware of the possible domain problems on the bottom. That's something that I would like to point out to you guys. Here's an example, example 8. Use the graphs to find f plus g. Well, that's a very good question. Now, if you notice over here, I haven't put my glasses on. It's kind of hard to see. But if I want to know what f plus g is, well, they're only defined for this particular region right here, 2 to 6. And I could add them together. So let's just do the 2. If I go up here, the blue f is 3, and then the g is 6, so that would be 9. I'll scroll down here. If you notice here is the sum of the two of them together. Here's another example. Could I add these two functions together? Well, when I say that, I have to identify the domain. And here on the blue function, or f, it's only defined from 1 to the right. And so the sum would begin right here. That value, which is 0, plus this value, which looks like it's 2.5, that would be 2.5, wouldn't it? And so this yellow function is really the sum of the two of them. Take your time and look at that. Make sure you understand that. Here are your takeaways with this. Good review, very good review, and then your problems. So I hope that is a good little review for you, or helps you out. Now, if you notice, when I'm trying to locate my position here in the task list, I have to go back to combining functions. That's a mistake I made before. All right, I'm looking here. There's the organizer. There's the assignments. This is a very good little short to the point lesson on sum and difference. Here's our Khan guy, and he's got a good video on sum of two functions, a product of two functions, very easy to follow. Now, the composite of functions. The composite of function is a function within a function. What would be an example of that? Well, if you make more money, you're going to have more FICA taxes taken out. FICA is your Social Security. So as my money increases, my taxes increase. So the amount of taxes that are taken out is based upon another function. There are other ways to understand and explain that, but that's a good example. Decomposing a function, I know that sounds a little morbid there, but you're just breaking it into, like I said, two functions, a function within a function. That is the gist of this unit right here. So please take your time while you're talking about and studying combining functions. It's a little bit of algebra, it's a little bit of understanding the graphs, but I believe with a little bit of time and looking over it and going back to it, you'll be able to get a pretty good understanding and then do okay on your quiz. So don't forget to contact me if I could help you. And look at my videos for lesson 10, especially 10.4, where I have some videos to help explain this particular lesson. Good luck and best wishes.